There is a new home for the Bundesliga coverage in the UK and on YouTube. We're going to discuss about it, a very monumental, I think, TV deal and the way football is going to be broadcasted in the future. Let me know your thoughts, people, because this is really groundbreaking stuff, I think, for YouTube, football coverage, and all that sort of stuff. So the Bundesliga has become the first major European football league to award part of its live broadcasting rights in the UK to a content creator. Yes, a content creator with That's Football, a channel hosted by online personality Mark Goldbridge, who is going to show matches this season. This new agreement is due to be announced today and is expected to be in place for Bundesliga's first round of games, which is on Friday between Bayern Munich and RB Leipzig. That game and all other Friday night fixtures for the next 2 seasons will be shown live on BBC on both the website and iPlayer and The Overlap, a British-based YouTube channel with 1.5 million subscribers, and Goldbridge's That's Football, which boasts a further 1.38 million subscribers, will share the rights, those showing 20 live Friday night games in 25-26 with watch-along formats. In August 2025, The Rest is Football, part of Goal Hanger's stable of podcasts, became the first UK platform of its kind to secure goal highlights packages. I think that's the one with Gary Lineker, Michael Richards, and Alan Shearer, if I'm not mistaken. So they obviously have some TV deal now with La Liga that they're allowed to show the highlights because we know Tebas is a communist. In further changes, Amazon has acquired the exclusive rights to all the Bundesliga Sunday fixtures, which will be available on pay-per-view basis. Come on, how much do people pay to watch football in the UK already? And you're going to put it in a pay-per-view setting? I'm sorry. Look, shout out to Amazon, shout out to Bundesliga. €3 to watch Freiburg against, let's say, FC Köln. How many people do you think are going to pay that to watch it, people? How many people do you think are going to pay to watch it? Not many. Adding to his sports portfolio in the UK, okay, got it. But it will be the involvement of the content creators that draws the most attention. Overlap regularly features ex-players Gary Neville, Roy Keane, and Jamie Carragher. I just hope those guys are not covering the Bundesliga. I really don't. I don't want to see Gary Neville talking about Eintracht Frankfurt or Roy Keane talking about Freiburg or Jamie Carragher trying to give some analysis on Mainz. I don't want to see it. I'm sorry. As well as debates between fans of Premier League clubs. We don't want any of those talking about Bundesliga, but it has never been a rights holder before. Similarly with That's Football, growth has depended on its watch-along format. This will be the first time the channel has featured live footage from a major league. Sources close to the deal who have been granted immunity to protect relationships have told The Athletic that the agreement for both channels will run until the end of this current season. A quote from the Amazon read, "German football has an intense following in the UK, especially as more English towns such as Joe Bellingham, Jarrell Kwanzaa join the likes of Harry Kane in the Bundesliga. By expanding our pay-per-view selection with Bundesliga matches, we're giving UK football fans more ways to engage with European football throughout the season with long-term commitments or subscriptions." Neither The Overlap nor Mark Goldbridge responded to The Athletic's request for comments. Really groundbreaking stuff here. And then let's just go to this quickly before we go into more in-depth talk about this whole situation. Big news. That's Football will stream 20 live Bundesliga matches on Friday nights, as well as creating 34 weekly shows in the 25-26 season. The first creator channel with official league rights. A landmark deal putting That's Football alongside Sky, BBC, Amazon in the Bundesliga UK strategy. Okay, so now that we've gotten all the information here, this is actually really smart, I think, from the Bundesliga. Thinking outside the box, people. Nobody wants to watch, mainstream, old school sort of style of football and watching it on the television because, you know why? Watching football nowadays, it's a lot of money. Does everybody have €50 a month or $60 a month to spend watching La Liga, watching Bundesliga, watching Serie A, watching the Premier League? No. Maybe some fans will just choose to watch one league and one league only because it's only affordable for them. Obviously, there are some other ways to watch it, which I'm not going to talk about here on today's video. So the Bundesliga thought outside the box. How can we expand our horizon? How can we gain a new audience? We need to get a younger audience. Okay, let's go to YouTube. It's free. Everybody will be watching YouTube. Let's just put our games there for free. I think it's really smart marketing from the Bundesliga's perspective, and it will hopefully gain a new audience and some people in the UK especially, because you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of the Premier League, and I've always talked about this a lot. I just think their fans just shit on all the other leagues. Everybody calls the Bundes League. Everybody says it every single season, and it's so irating to me, and it's so frustrating because watch the games, people. Yes, the Bundesliga is not at the level of the Premier League, but look at all of the talents that have gone from the Bundesliga to the Premier League. Maybe if some people watched them before and were like, oh, maybe this guy could do really well in the Premier League, instead of, oh my God, Virch is a flop, he's going to be terrible. Oh, look at Erling Haaland, he scored all those goals, he's going to score max 15 goals, like that idiot Rory Jennings said. Maybe if they had better coverage, maybe if they had more access to the league, they'd be like, oh no, this guy, he's going to destroy the league. Maybe he'll be a good player. So I think this is really smart thinking from the Bundesliga's perspective to reach out to new people, reach out, find a different way. Don't just go the old school way over and over again. I think in the future, football, it will all be on one platform, whether that's going to be like Netflix or Amazon or something like that. I feel like all football is going to head that way, which is going to be better for us as a consumer, but maybe it's not going to be great for the likes of Sky Sports or BBC or ITV or whatever the other TNT Sports. They're not going to like that. But the Netflix, when that gets football deals, the game is over. And it will be so good for us. And maybe they will charge like 15 a month. But if we get 15 a month and we get to watch the Bundesliga, Serie A, Premier League, all on that one 15-month deal, I'll happily pay it, people. I will happily pay it. So getting the football on BBC, that's a regular thing. BBC have obviously been an old school sort of media company. They dealt with football before. Makes sense there. Overlap is an interesting one. I don't really watch their content a lot, so I cannot say. I'm just hoping it's not Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, or Roy Keane on that. I don't think they're going to be analyzing the games there, so that will be a good thing. The one that everybody's talking about is Mark Goldbridge. I'm not going to lie, people. Look, Mark Goldbridge is one of the biggest YouTubers for football. He's done it for such a long time. I don't watch his content, so I'm not going to say as a personality-wise, will he fit the Bundesliga. But one thing I know is he has done zero content on the Bundesliga. Zero. And what he has done is shit on the league.
The German league is shit. I'm sorry, it is. And I know I'll always shoot from my hip, my bad hip, but it's true. I think you've done your time at Leipzig. Why stay in the Bundesliga? You're going to go to a club where you're going to win the league every year in a league that's piece of piss.
Every single opportunity, he shits on the league. So the Bundesliga were like, did they do like some background research on this guy? And we're like, oh, maybe he would really be interested in doing the Bundesliga. Or maybe he has this guy has zero knowledge on the league. He cannot tell you 2 players from Frankfurt. He cannot tell you 3 players from RB Leipzig. But for the fact that Mark Goldbridge got this, yes, he's got a huge audience. So that's going to help the Bundesliga expand its horizon and expand its audience, which is going to be a good thing for Mark Goldbridge because he gets a lucrative deal with the Bundesliga, which is a monumental thing for football content creators. The fact that now a league, a top 4 league in Europe, went to Mark Goldbridge and said, hey, we want to broadcast the games on your channel for free. That's insane levels that Mark Goldbridge has gotten to right now. And kudos to him for all of his hard work. And obviously he's got probably a team around him. They've done massive work to get this deal. So kudos to them. I'm just thinking from the Bundesliga's perspective, it's like, you could choose one person. Like, there's some good YouTube channels that cover the Bundesliga. One channel I do follow for the Bundesliga is the Gegen Pressing podcast. I would highly recommend them. I could put a link in the description down below if you people want to know about them. They cover the Bundesliga. And that's where I kind of get, if I don't know something about like Werder Bremen or Freiburg, if I need to learn something new about those teams, I go to those 2 guys. Can you imagine if the Bundesliga went to those 2 guys and said, hey, we're going to give you the rights to the Bundesliga and showing the games live? Oh my, the knowledge that they would have combined with the football that they could show live for free, that would be a game-changing thing. The fact that it went to Mark Goldbridge, who's a Premtard, let's be honest, he's a Premtard, it kind of hurts me. It does, but I hope it's going to be successful because it's for one season only. One season on overlap, one season on That's Football. And if it does work, then you're going to see other leagues do this. Maybe we're going to see another high-level channel get the rights to La Liga or get the rights to Serie A. Maybe this is going to be the way in the future. Obviously, from my perspective, if I ever got the rights to like the Serie A or La Liga or Bundesliga, guys, I'm cooking. I'm cooking, people. And I would say that I have some knowledge of the leagues. I'm not like a crazy fan of like the Bundesliga, Serie A, La Liga. I try and watch as many games as possible of those leagues because I want to, educate myself on the players, on the style of plays, on the managers. But the fact that it just went to Mark Goldbridge, I'm like, could we not have chosen somebody better? But I think the Bundesliga are trying to search for sort of a short-term gain in this situation. And the dude gets crazy numbers. I think I searched. He got 13 million views the past month on that channel. 13 million views. Bro, I haven't got 13 million views on my channel. And he got it in 1 month. I mean, that is just ludicrous numbers. So the Bundesliga were like, okay, let's get to Mark Goldbridge. Let's educate him. This is another thing. Let's educate Mark Goldbridge. Let's educate his fans and the Premier League, because it's basically Premier League fans. Let's educate them. Let's give them a good access to our league so people won't shit on the league anymore. And they'll be like, oh, really good football, really entertaining. I want to tune in next week. Maybe that's what the Bundesliga is thinking here, which is a smart thing. I just wish it went to somebody else. I wish it went to somebody else, but you have the option. You can go to the overlap. If you're in the UK, you can watch on the BBC. Here, where I am in Finland, I can watch it on a different platform. And obviously, that's football. So I'm really intrigued to see how this is going to go down. I'm more intrigued to see how does the weekly show go down. Is it going to be hosted by Mark Goldbridge? Like, is he going to know how Sebastian Hoeneß has been playing with Stuttgart for the last 3 to 4 years and all the players they've been losing? Like, does he know that Enzo Milot, who was an absolute gem at Stuttgart, went to Saudi Arabia? Does he know that? Oh, probably not. Probably not. But hopefully this is a good educational moment for him and all of the Premier League fans that watch his channel. So this is going to be a really interesting dynamic we're going to see in the football coverage for the future. Because if this is successful, we're cooking if you're football content creators, if you're other people out there. Really fascinating stuff. And, you know, kudos to Mark Goldbridge for getting this deal. Shout out to the overlap. Great for the BBC. And now there's going to be a free platform for people to watch the Bundesliga. That's a good thing. Just as I say it all the time, I wish it went to somebody else who's a bit more educated on the league. But let me know your thoughts, people. How do you think this new deal that the Bundesliga has done with That's Football, the Overlap, and BBC, can it change the football coverage for the future? Or is this just a short-term game by the Bundesliga going with Mark Goldbridge? Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and remember to follow me on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, join the Discord, all those links, description down below. But have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time, adios.